So today we're going to talk about something that affects all of us, your taxes. Now, let's talk for just a second about the current tax system. There's absolutely no surprise that the current tax system is broken. And it's broken for a couple reasons. Number one, it costs the government about $10 billion with a B every year just to operate the IRS, the division of government responsible for collecting taxes. And number two, the current tax system is so complicated that not even the IRS can accurately explain how the tax system works. Now, this is evidenced by two ways. Number one, Mary Dalrymple of the Associated Press reported that in an IRS audit of their own service, they were unable to correctly answer 47% of all questions posed to them. That means that if you called an IRS service center to ask a question, almost 50% of the time you received an incorrect answer. In response to this, Henry O. Lamar, the IRS tax commissioner, quoted, "We recognize this accuracy rate for tax law service is unacceptable. Yet, he offered absolutely no solution to rectifying the problem." So, we don't have to probe very deep to see that the current system is indeed broken. But there is a solution. It's been proposed in Congress multiple times, the fair tax. Now, what is the fair tax? Essentially, the fair tax would completely eliminate the IRS and would eliminate our current income tax system. It would contain a 23% national sales tax on all new goods purchased. Now, you may ask, well, who supports this? The fact of the matter is, this bill has bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate. In fact, it's supported and sponsored by Republicans John Linder and Saxby Chambliss and Democrats Colin Peterson and Zell Miller. So, how would we eliminate the income tax? It's simple. First off, you would get your entire salary every week or month or bi-weekly, however you were paid. All the monies that you earn would be contained in your check. And then the beauty of this is that you get to decide what you get taxed on. How does that work? Because you decide what you spend on, you decide what you pay taxes on. If you choose to save money, that money is not taxed because you haven't spent it, you've paid no sales tax on it. Well, that brings up a question. Since we all have to purchase necessities, food, clothing, shelter, what do we do about taxing those items? Well, there's been set in place a system for that called a prebate. Now, sometimes if you go buy a VCR or a DVD player now, you may send off a card and they may send you $50 back in a rebate. Well, a prebate works similar to a rebate, except it happens before you pay any tax. Basically, what we've done is we've created a system to establish a poverty level. Once the poverty level is established, you receive a prebate based on your family size and spending for the poverty level. So every month you would receive a check in advance for the taxes that you would pay on food, clothing, housing, automobiles, anything that's a necessity. For a family of four, for instance, that number comes out to about $638 a month. Now, the great part of this is that since you are only taxed on what you spend, all monies that go into savings accounts, retirement accounts, anything that you don't spend isn't taxed. Because of this, you have incentive to save, you have incentive to build wealth, instead of the current system, which penalizes wealth building by taxing you more the more money you make. So, we look at this and we say, okay, what can we do? Well, maybe sitting here we can't do much, but one of the things we can do is realize that we aren't powerless. Call your senator, call your representative. Insist that they support House Bill 25 and Senate Bill 25. These are the fair tax bills. So we know that the system is broken, and we know that it affects us all. All we have to do is do the simple thing and make the phone call.